Welcome back to LFP Farm Life. It's Carrie Lee. Today we're going to be doing a really fun pressure canning project that's going to be super simple. It's going to be another pantry staple with some veg, and it's going to be out of the all-new Ball Book of Canning. And it's going to be a Mexican corn that's going to be really simple. I've been enjoying having some pantry staples, and I want to rebuild my pantry over the winter and do a little clearing out of my freezer to make room for the spring produce. So let's get cracking on that. So I'm going to quick add in some freshly chopped up onions, and boy, were these a bit potent. I actually had to touch up my makeup. It just had me just a ball in here. And I'm going to be doing a double batch out of this. And it's in one of the very simple pages that has a ton of different veg. So let me quick show you where you can find this recipe as well as a ton of others. So it's got a bunch of different veggie items that I've done quite a few of these in previous videos that are putting cards that you're going to find, I don't know, either over here or over here. I don't know which side they're linked in, but I'll put some of the others. And I've also got some other veggie style videos planned for later in this month. And I'm doing a double batch. I can't remember if I said that or not. So let's get those onions in. And I don't know what I was thinking when I got my green peppers out, but I have way too many pre-measured. So let's just go ahead and remeasure these green peppers because that's just way too many. And these should have been finely diced for this particular recipe. But since mine are already frozen, whoops, let me just throw those on the floor. We're not finely dicing anything at the moment. So we're just going to use them as they are. And then I am just going to go ahead and vacuum seal what's left in there. Put them in my upstairs freezer. And I wasn't sure if one bag of corn was going to be enough that I already had in my freezer. So I brought another vacuum sealed bag up. So let's see if we've got enough in my little Ziploc. 1, 2, 3. 4. It actually might be really close. And you can see that with my Ziploc, it is getting a bit freezer burnt, which is one of the reasons why I have decided this year I am not going to be putting my fruits and veg in a Ziploc anymore. They just are not staying as fresh as I was hoping. I have switched over to vacuum sealing all of my fruits and veg because it's just not keeping the freezer burn off. And this had gotten freezer burnt in just 4 months, which I'm not super thrilled about. Let me quick grab a spoon and mix up our veg a little bit. Boy, that sure does make a pretty look, doesn't it? And I really loved how fresh the green peppers smelled. Well, the tricolor peppers, I should say. And it just makes it look so festive. What I really like about this ball book is it gives you some usages for other items other than just a side dish for this. I believe the item that it gives you a hint to use it for is a Mexican chili, which I never would have thought of using it for. And the seasonings for it is really very simple. Salt, chili powder, and oregano. And all of our seasonings are listed, and the initial recipe is set up for either 2 quarts or 4 pints. And I'm doubling that. So let's go ahead and add our oregano. So I'm going to need both my tablespoon and my teaspoon measure, since I did in fact double everything. And I am not going to adjust my seasoning since this is the first time that I've made this recipe. So I'm just going to follow it exactly as it was given. And then after I taste everything out of the canner, then I'm going to go ahead and make some adjustments if I find that that's necessary. But can you believe how quick and simple it was to make this? Wow, this is a lot of soap. How quick it was to make this particular canning recipe using items out of our freezer at this time in the spring. This would also be absolutely amazing using fresh produce in the summer with fresh corn on the cob and fresh green peppers and multicolored peppers in the summer as well, straight out of our garden or off of a market purchase. I think it would be absolutely divine. And that is all that this particular recipe for a lovely side dish. That's all it takes to make this up. Okay, we've got our Mexican corn all ready to go into the jars. Can you believe how quick and easy and fast that assembled? I'm going to be placing all of mine into pints, and I just took them out of the dishwasher, so they're already warm and sterilized. And you have the option of either filling your jars with stock or with water. And I think for mine, I am going to fill mine just with water rather than with stock. I'm currently low on stock at the moment, and I think it will be just sufficient flavor-wise by just using water, because we've added an awful lot of flavor with the seasonings that we've selected to add. So I think they'll be just fine. But you go ahead and add whatever you think would suit your family's needs best. Yep, we are leaving about an inch headspace. Alrighty, and then everything that's left are just used for dinner. So we're just going to take some water, fill these up. 1 inch headspace line. And then I'm just going to quick debubble. And then before we put our Denali Canning lids on, I'm going to quick wipe off our rings just to make sure that I don't have anything on them, because we want to make sure that we don't have any issues with anything sealing. So I am just using the boiling water from our lids here. And what I am finding about the Denali lids, now that I'm using them a bit more, is they seem to want to self-center, which is kind of nice. I think it's because this little lip seems to be a little bit more prominent, so it seems to set down on the rim a little bit easier, which is kind of nice. And if you're new to canning, while you're screwing on your rings, you are just screwing on your rings finger tight. You're not trying to screw them on tight, tight. We did end up with 6 pints, and we are going to, for my altitude, we are going to pressure can this for 55 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure.